Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. Today we're making French onion soup. This recipe is from Chef Jean-Pierre. And it starts with leeks, which I'm going to cut and soak and do all the things that you do with leeks. If you want to know more about that, there is a link in the description below to a leek and potato casserole that I did. But really all you need to know is that we're using the whites and the light greens. You can wash and save the darker greens for stock. And we're basically going to cut them in half and then cut them into half moons, keeping in mind that this is a soup, so if it's too big, cut it down. With our leeks soaking in cold water in the sink, we're going to go ahead and manage our onions. You want 8 large onions. You're going to peel them like you always peel them. Once that's done, you're going to cut one in half. We're going to make 3 cuts perpendicular to the lines on the onion. And then we're going to just cut it. That way your pieces won't be too big. Once we're done, we've got a crap ton of onions. That's a metric crap ton. This is French food. And I'm going to go 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And 2 tablespoons of butter. It's a big pan, right? We're going to see if these shallots that I bought are any good. I've had bad luck with shallots lately, man. I don't know what that's about. We don't want the butter to burn, so we're going to go ahead and throw our onions in. If you don't have a giant pan, you may have to do this in shifts. And we're not cooking these to death, we're just caramelizing them. You're also going to take this time to cut up your shallots. I'm just going to do it real quick like. Once everybody's in, we're cranking it up to high. And we're cooking these on high until they're caramelized. Once everybody looks nice and caramelized, we're going to pull the onions off and we're going to put our soup pot on. Notice that on my crappy apartment stove, you can only use 1 burner if you have a giant pan. And it's this one over here that I just burnt all to hell. And that's fine. I'll take care of that later. This is a Chef Jean-Pierre recipe, so the butter and the flour are by weight. So we want 6 tablespoons or 3 ounces of butter. And then you want 2 ounces of flour, which is that much. I don't know how to... It's weight. I don't know. If I were guessing, I'd say half a cup, but I'm guessing. Okay, so I've turned the heat on my giant pot. I'm throwing in the butter. Get it good and melty. And then we'll add in our flour, making a roux. And we're going pale blonde. We're not being too crazy. Now we are going to add the onions to the roux. Now I'm going to drain my leeks. Go ahead and throw my leeks in. Then I'm going to start with 6 cups of chicken stock. And I'm going to follow that up with 4 cups of beef broth. I'm using store-bought stock, so I'm not adding salt just yet, but I am adding pepper. We're also going to add 1/4 a cup of cream sherry and 1/4 a cup ruby port. You don't need to add booze, but if you don't add booze, at least add an equal amount of stock. And while I'm waiting the 40 minutes to an hour for that to cook, I'm going to chop up this French loaf and make croutons. 350 until they're croutons. Once it's boiling, you're going to pull it back to a simmer and let it bubble for, I don't know, 40 minutes, an hour. An hour later, and we've already bowled it up. I actually just realized that I didn't hit record when I bowled it up. Sorry. So I assure you, I have already tasted it repeatedly while I was seasoning it. I seasoned it with salt and pepper. And now we're going to go ahead and float the croutons on. Again, 350 degrees should do until they're nice and crispy. And then I got some Swiss cheese. Gonna let it hang over just a little bit. I've never done this before, but it should be fine. Today's the day that we find out whether these bowls are oven proof. They probably are. Okay, about 8 minutes later, and we've got a nice cheesy top. We're gonna top it with some chives. Okay, French onion soup with 4 onions, if you include the chives. Look at it, marvel at it. I'm gonna go eat it because it's 8:30 p.m. in the middle of summer and I'm hungry. Like, subscribe, ding the little bell, leave a comment down below, let me know how I'm doing, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.